Hey friends, welcome back to Mostly Accurate. I'm Monica, boy mom, chaos narrator, and professional reheater of cold coffee. Okay. So can we just talk about sleep regression for a second? Because I'm convinced it is not just a phase. It is some kind of weird experiment that is happening. My kid has slept less this week than I did during like all of college finals. And at least back then I had Red Bull and poor judgment to get me through. While we're on the topic of chaos, let's celebrate the real win for this week. No poops in the bathtub. That's where the bar is now, folks. Forget clean laundry, forget meal prep. It's bath time. If bath time ends without me scrubbing poop out of a plastic Spider Man toy, that's the real victory. So, yeah, honestly, this week has been all right. I've had anxiety riding shotgun all week. It's like a low grade hum in the background, kind of like a fridge buzzing, but instead of like cold milk, it's just keeping me from, being on the verge of tears at Target. So, yeah, that's my week in a nutshell. Sleep deprived, poop free bathtub, and hanging out with my good friend anxiety. Motherhood is pretty glorious, isn't it? Today, we have something super, super exciting and super fun lined up. I'm switching things up. I am not ranting solo. I've got a guest. Yes, we are talking postpartum struggles, the real, the messy, the stuff that, we don't say out loud. So, if you thought postpartum was going to be nothing but blissful cuddles and glowing skin, well, buckle up because reality looks more like sweatpants, night sweats, and crying in the shower. I can't wait to get into this. So let's head over to our conversation. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening. Today we have something super special. So let's get into it. Sydney, thank you so much for being here. Can you please introduce yourself real quick? Tell our listeners how we know each other and give us a little rundown of how many tiny humans you have.
Yeah, so my name is Sydney. Again, thank you so much for having me today. I know Monica from work, and we've gotten close and bonded over our mom stories and everything that we're going through in this crazy, crazy time of life. And then I have two daughters, a 2.5-year-old and a just turned 1-year-old, like 10 days ago. So very busy, very chaotic time of life.
And what Cindy forgot to add is that so we were both kind of pregnant at the same time. And when we met each other, it was after Cindy started working at the company that I work at. So when we bonded, it was really cool because we realized that we were both almost about a year postpartum. So there was a lot of similarities and a lot of tiredness and just trying to make it
A lot of
through each
struggles,
day.
I would
Yes.
say.
A lot of struggles, definitely a lot of struggles every morning trying to get to work and just make it through the day. So, yeah, that's basically what we are going to discuss today is a lot of the postpartum struggles that we, I guess, have been going through the last year, the stuff that nobody talks about. So, let's get into it. Let's just start with what surprised you most after birth? Like what was the one thing that you feel like nobody warned you about?
So I think the biggest thing for me was being sent home from the hospital and give you like papers and like handouts and stuff on like tips and tricks to try, like with breastfeeding and things to watch out for with the baby and stuff like that. But they don't give you anything or really kind of warn you any about or walk you through anything and as far as when it comes to like healing yourself. And that for me was, like, the biggest curveball because I had no idea what to expect or do or what I couldn't do. I actually ended up texting my sister quite a bit. So my sister is a labor and delivery nurse that assisted in delivering both of my daughters, and I remember texting her and asking her, "Can I, like, sit in the bathtub and, like, soak myself?" Like, not, like, full blown, like, really deep bath, but, like, can I soak like, everything down there and because I had, like, a stitch and stuff I ripped and it was just really sore and she's like, "Yeah, you can do that, that's what you should be doing," and I'm just like, "Nobody told me that." Like, I had no idea.
And that's a great question because I had the same thing. So I had was it episiotomy, because he got stuck. Oh, I got cut and then I got stitched, and it was the same thing, like
Yes. I'm like, am I supposed to come back and get these stitches out? Or are
Yeah.
they gonna fall? Like, what do I expect? I have no idea. Never gave me any tips or anything or told me how to take care of myself. And I just was like, I also have to keep this newborn alive that I don't even know what to do with.
Mhm.
And I also have to take care of myself, and I have no idea.
They did give you that handy dandy list of, like, a million things. "Don't do this, don't do this,
Yeah.
don't do this, don't do this. Here
Yep.
you go." Like,
Yeah.
I remember not even being able to, like I didn't even understand how the car seat worked.
No. No.
Like, I learned it
They,
in
like,
the
walk you
hospital.
th yeah, well, they, like, walk you through it, but it's not even, like, beneficial enough to where you feel, like, confident that your baby's, like, in it safely,
Yeah.
you know? And
Like,
they're
did
like,
you take classes, like a pre I don't
I
think that's, like, a
didn't.
real thing, like, you see it in the movies, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to Lamaze class," or, like, "I'm going to this baby class." I'm like, Where are these classes?" Because
Yep.
that didn't exist. Like, I mean, at
Yeah.
least for me, that never existed.
No,
I
I think
YouTubed
there was a
it.
few. Yeah, I think there was a few through our, like, hospital because I remember being asked if I was interested in any of those, like, very early on in my pregnancy, but at that time, that's, like, not what I was thinking about because I had just gotten pregnant. I'm like, "Yeah, no, like, I will think about that later."
Yeah.
But I also went into it with the mindset of, like, even if I do go through these classes or, like, watch these videos, like, no matter how much, like, learning I try to do, it's not gonna necessarily prepare you because every birth and every mom and every baby and situation is different. Like, I might have one thing, like, stuck in my mind and then it goes completely opposite, so then I'm like, "Crap, what went wrong? Why I didn't, like, look more closely into, like, those classes and stuff?" But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you probably had a little bit of confidence too, knowing that your sister was a labor and delivery nurse. So it's like if
Yeah.
you had any questions, you have
Yep.
like you got somebody right there,
I had
which
a
is
resource, yeah, and I always told her, I'm
exactly.
like, "I want the real answer, like, be, like, full blown honest with me, with everything, like, the drugs, the treatment, the postpartum care, like, all of that, like, tell me straight up, I don't want you to, like, sugarcoat it, like, you have the experience, so tell me what you think is best or, like, what works, what usually doesn't, and all of that." So, yeah, it was nice to have her.
Did she suggest epidural?
She honestly, she was like, "It's totally up to you. Like, if you want meds and stuff, like, go for it. If not," she's like, I know, like, your pain tolerance and stuff, and I think you can do it
Mhm.
without it, but it's, like, 1000% up to you."
Yeah.
She's seen both. She's seen it all. She's seen the good, bad, and the ugly. No, it
I
was
got
really
an
nice to have
epidural.
her. I did too with my first one, so that was a very strange experience, but with my second, she came so flippin' fast that I didn't even have time.
My gosh, yeah. Yeah, I was scared. I didn't know what like, everybody tells you, like, "Oh my god, it's so painful," and I was like, "Yep, sign me up. I want the episode."
Yes,
I know,
you
like,
don't have
some
to be a superhero in birth. That's what one of
yeah.
my other friends always told me, she's like, "Take the drugs. You don't have to be a superhero. Like, they're there for a reason, like, it's okay." So, but yeah, so I think I was honestly more nervous for the epidural itself than I was for the actual birth, just from things I've, like, heard from people. Isn't that the most bizarre thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. It's like a needle this
Such a weird
long.
con
Yeah. I s I just remember, like, my one of my legs, he must have, like, tapped it a certain way or whatever he did, but because like, my leg just kept
I
falling
had the
off.
exact same thing.
Yeah,
I
and I
had
was like,
one
"Can you
leg that
pick
was
up my dead
completely,
leg?"
like, dead. Yes, yes, and they had to, like, help me walk to the bathroom after because my I got it so late in the process that I was still so numb and my that one leg was still so dead, like, I couldn't walk.
Yes, same, and I feel like
Yeah,
I waited a little bit later too, just because, again, I was trying to be a hero for
yep.
I don't even know what
Why?
reason.
You're already a hero for literally growing a human inside of you,
Yeah,
so take the
but
drugs.
yeah, I took the drugs, I was
Take the
like, "Okay,
drugs.
it's time, it's
It's
time."
fine.
Alright, so let's switch gears a tiny bit. Next question that I kinda wanna discuss is how is postpartum different with your second pregnancy than it was your first? Because you have 2 kids and, like you said, they were really different, when it came to delivery because your
Mhm.
second came really quickly, and how would you feel that you recovered the second time around compared to the first?
So I think my recovery went a little bit better the second time around, and I think that was for multiple different reasons. So obviously, I had meds, different drugs and stuff like that with my first, and then with my second, I didn't have anything because she came so quick, I didn't have time to get anything, and I don't really know how much of that really had an impact on that, but I my recovery for my second was so much, I don't wanna say easier because recovery is never easy, but it was easier in a sense. I also feel like from, like, a mental perspective, I was a little bit more prepared because just, going through all those crazy thoughts and the hormonal changes and, kind of just those crazy mood swings and all of that comes along with it. I think it was easier for me to kinda dismiss those, or just kind of, like, think like, "Wow, this is pretty crazy what I'm thinking right now," or "Why am I feeling like this?" And I knew that it was temporary, because I had already had a kid and I already been through it once. By no means were they similar situations in regards to like postpartum healing because I didn't tear anything with my second. I didn't get an epidural, so I wasn't sore from that. So as far as that goes, like the physical, I would say was a bit easier. But like I said, it was also two very different situations when it came to the birth. So I feel like that had more to do with it. But just overall felt more prepared, I guess. Um, but still also not at the same time though, because they were so different. I felt like a first time new mom all over again. So it's hard to kind of explain unless you're literally like going through it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Well, not only that, it's just like, I mean, you kind of are a first time mom going through it because now instead of just one tiny human, now you have
You
two.
have two.
And
Yeah.
you have the newest baby there who needs all your attention, but then you have your first baby who still still needs you, like
Still
still needs a
needy.
lot. So it's like there's one
Yes,
of
who's
you.
still a baby and still needs you.
Yeah. There's only one
Yeah.
of you and just like so much to give. It's like you're stretching yourself so thin, I feel like. Probably I mean, I only have one kid, so I guess I can't attest to the experience, but my sister has 2, and I kind of feel like when I spoke with her, I could tell, like, the struggle was there. I think, like, even right at the beginning, I feel like your mental is just using words and having a
Yes.
conversation is tough
It's
because
so hard.
there's so many things running
So
through your
hard.
head. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's shift a little bit. What do you think like your biggest challenges were coming out with your second? Now you have 2 kids. Was it the sleep deprivation? Was it even more body changes? Was it your mental health that you felt shifted differently? Like what was the most noticeable change coming out of the hospital to even 6 months, that length of
Yeah.
time, what do you think was the biggest challenge that you had?
I think definitely the sleep. I feel like I'm still fighting that. Um, the sleep deprivation is real, and never ending, I feel like, when you have kids, but it was so tough in the beginning because obviously we had a newborn, and then we also had, I mean, how old was our first at that time? She was just like a year and a half. So essentially she was still, I mean, she was still a baby, in that aspect. Luckily, she slept through the night. Our second did not. So it was just kind of adapting to all of that and then, caring for both of them throughout the day. Just both of them being, needing so much of our time and attention just added to that stress and the sleep deprivation. And so just constantly feeling absolutely exhausted. And yeah, just going along with that, but also I feel like the hormone changes and shifts and stuff like that, I feel like hit me harder with the second one, and I think that's because I had my girls somewhat close together in regards to having 2 kids, back to back like that, and I don't think that my hormones ever got a chance to regulate to the point of being back to, normal or whatever you would call it,
Mhm.
and so I think that that was also and still is till this day a struggle trying to get those back on track. Like, well, how do you even get your hormones back on track? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Right. Well, and they
But
say they say it takes, like, what, like, up to a year for your hormones like, even past a year,
I was gonna
I
say I've
think,
heard like 2 years. I've
to
heard I've heard like year and a half to even 2 years it could take for your hormones to completely get back into, like, normal regulation mode for, like, your body. I never really gave my body time to regulate, and
Mhm.
I'm paying the price of it now because, I mean, I don't even know what's going on. So, and I'm
Well,
a year
at least you made it
postpartum
here today.
from I'm a year postpartum from my second already, and things are still just not right. It's a whole thing. So, yeah, I think maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just because they're closer together. I don't know if that's a second kid thing, maybe a combination of both. So,
Well, that too, and I feel like your whole identity as a person who you were before is not the
mhm,
same. So
no.
not only is like your hormones trying to figure out what's going on, your mental is just like, who am I at this point anymore? Because, used to be somebody who didn't have, that level of responsibility.
Mhm.
And then everything shifted within your body. And now you have 2 children, so it's just kinda like, who am I at this point? Where am I?
Who am I? Where am I? What day of the week it is? What month is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. It's hard. It's been really hard, the self-identity piece too. I struggled with that, I think, more with my first, um, because it just kind of hit me, along with all the postpartum stuff. I was just like, "Wait, what did I sign up for?" My husband and I remember we were looking at each other, like, in our bed and just like, "What did we get ourselves into?" Like, obviously, we were, like, over
Yeah.
the moon about having a baby, like, it was, it's what we wanted, we've always wanted and always wanted a family and stuff like that. We were very excited, but, like, it was rough. It was very, very rough those first couple weeks because your
Oh my
whole
god.
entire life changes in ways that you just have no idea what to even expect or do or handle, and it's a wild ride.
Yeah, I absolutely feel that to my core. I just like I'm pretty sure I remember when we finally got sent home, my son broke me within the first
Mhm,
night. Like it
mhm.
was constant, like because our breastfeeding journey was actually pretty good. We can talk about that later, but right in the beginning, he latched right away. Everything was great, but then
That's so
he
nice.
started cluster feeding. So like that
Yeah.
first night home, my God, like it was the longest day of my life. And I remember it was maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and he's feeding again and I don't have any milk to give him because it's
Yep.
just he took all of it
Yeah.
and he wants more, but I can't give him more. And then the hospital's like, don't give him a bottle because that's going to confuse him. And I'm so tired. I'm bawling my eyes out. And I
Mhm.
just remember Jameson walked in the room and it was just like, do you want me to help? And I'm like, well, you don't have boobs, but sure. So I just
Like, I
remember
don't
like,
know how you can,
yeah,
but yes,
yeah.
please.
And I was just like, filled with tears, and I just, like, handed the baby over, and I just
Yeah.
laid down, and it was like that was the end, and it's same thing, I'm just laying there like, what did how am I gonna survive this? I'm
I
never
have
gonna sleep again.
Yep, exactly. No, I have, like, a very similar story. I was laying in bed trying to breastfeed my first, and she latched okay, but, like, obviously, it takes a couple days for your milk to come in or whatever, and I just feel like it wasn't coming in soon enough for her. I don't know if that's, like, a thing with all babies or not, but that's just kind of what I felt, and she, I think, was just starving, and she kinda did the same thing, cluster feeding, and I was in such excruciating pain. I just laid there with her on my boob, just bawling because it hurt so bad, but I knew she wanted to eat something, so I'm just like, "I don't even know what to do at this point." But I just, like, I remember thinking, like, "There's no way my nipple is going to be attached after she gets done eating," because that is how bad it was hurting, and my husband is just, like, sitting next to me like, "I am so sorry, but, like, there's literally nothing I can do right now to help you, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit and watch, I guess."
That's literally
Like,
how it
"Thanks."
was. I remember Jameson, like, he tried helping at one point. I'm
Yeah.
like, I know that you, like, took a note from what you saw in the hospital, but is it like,
Right, but it's
we're
just
here now. It's not gonna
yeah,
work." But, I mean, I guess all laughs aside, like, the mental health part of it, like, bawling your eyes out, like, postpartum depression, that's that was always something really scary. So, a few facts about it: it affects 1 in 7 moms, but often it's brushed off as the baby blues, and I can definitely attest to that. It can look like constant sadness, numbness, feeling disconnected from your baby, or just not feeling like yourself. And, I thought the baby blues and postpartum depression was like, like crying at like a diaper commercial or something, but
Mhm.
it turns out it's more like just staring at the wall or into the abyss with just like so many
Just
things and nothing
yep.
at the same time happening in your brain. So, I guess my question is like, is this something that you were worried about before either pregnancy happening, considering that you had a sister that was a labor and delivery nurse? Like, is this something that you were warned about, or just something that you learned about, like, in one of the 5,000 pamphlets they gave you?
I didn't really I feel like I wasn't really that worried about it. I had heard about it before, but I really didn't know the details. And honestly, like my impression of it was like I like postpartum depression was that I would give birth and then I would like feel depressed that like I still didn't have a baby growing inside of me. Like I would just miss that. Like I would miss that connection. I'm just like, okay, like, I understand that, like, I didn't really think too much into it because I'm like, I don't really think that I'm going to feel that quite as much because I'm really excited, to give birth to this baby and, like, meet this baby outside of the womb and meet who you are and all of that, so I think I'll be more focused on that than missing her inside of me. Yeah, that's not all that it entails. It's completely different than that. Well, I shouldn't say different. That is included in it, but there's so much more to it than that, and I definitely would say that I went through it. I never, like, probably took the right routes to get help with it, I would say. I never did the therapy. I never even really went to the doctor and talked to them about it on all the checkups. I
Mhm.
always put like I was, feeling fine and all of that. And I don't think that was because I was like embarrassed. I just think that I really didn't know what it was. I wasn't like
Yeah.
educated about it enough and like I really didn't even realize it or what I was going through until I was kind of more on the other side of it.
Yeah. Do you feel like, I don't know, like, I guess I can sort of relate to the way that you said it too, because like, I kind of felt like for me, I actually did speak up and I did say something when I went to the doctor. I was in tears at the doctor,
Yeah,
like, one of my appointments postpartum, and they were like, "Are you okay?" Like, "How are you feeling?" And, like, just being asked, "How am I feeling?" caused
just
just
yep,
a rush of
you don't just
emotion.
lose it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there I'm just, like, sitting in the checkout or the check-in, like, lobby at the doctor's office just crying, like, intensely crying, like, "I am
Yeah.
not okay." And he was like, "No, you're fine, it's just baby blues." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll just carry on."
What? Oh
Like,
my god.
okay, so I just kind of, like, brushed it off as, okay, I guess this doctor who's been doing this for,
For
a million
who knows
years
how long.
says,
Yeah.
yeah, says I'm fine. So, I attested that to just my hormones and that I was fine, but like I feel like I
So
was not
frustrating.
fine. And like the intrusive thoughts that were happening and like everything, like I was just not okay. And I think what personally, like for me, that I struggled with is that instant like love and bond feeling that you're supposed to have. I didn't have that right away. Like
Me either.
I it was very like I felt like there was something wrong with me because now I'm obsessed with him. but but like
Yeah.
the first couple days it was like, okay,
Mhm.
like now
Yeah,
what? Kind of a thing. Like it's just bizarre.
it
I
really
can't
is.
explain it. Like, I knew I did love him, but it was weird.
Yeah,
It was a
I was
str
the exact same way. And like you said, it's not like you didn't love them because I definitely loved them, but, like, it was still weird. I feel like I just had so much going on, like, with my body, like, I just didn't even know what was happening. It was almost, like, surreal. And, like, even when I had both girls, like, with neither one, I didn't, like, cry, and, like, I felt like there was something, like, so wrong with me. because I didn't, cry like every mom does when they give birth to their babies. Like, I don't know why I didn't, but I just didn't, and I just think that there was like, it was just so much more of a bigger event for me overall rather than, just giving birth to this human. I think I was just, like, thinking about, everything. My life is just completely changing, like, what is even going on in this instant, and kind of, learning to love and bond, and yeah, I'm right there with you where I feel like I had to learn how to do it. Not that I didn't, like, love the baby in the first place, but I don't know, I feel like it just kind of grew on me more than it was, more, like, instant.
Yeah. Yeah, and they don't talk about it. Again, in the movies, it's just like, "Oh my god, I instantly," or like all the Instagram moms like, "Oh, I instantly fell in love with my child."
Yeah,
Like, I was just like, "Hi, nice to meet you.
literally, that's exactly how I feel.
I'm your mom, I guess."
Yeah, it's a very weird, like, concept, and it was just really hard for, like, me to like I said, wrap my head around just, like, the whole experience. It was just wild.
Yeah. So, what about feelings of like isolation and loneliness, even like when you're surrounded by other people? Did you ever feel like you had um, a sense of just kind of feeling like you're just out in space by yourself?
Yeah, no, I definitely did. I think, a lot of that also came from, like, the mental and hormone shift changes too, though, because I was feeling all the things, and just all the weird things, the crazy thoughts and all of that kinda stuff, and I knew nobody else was, and I knew, like, if I tried to explain it, like, nobody would really understand what I was talking about, and I feel like I also didn't love the newborn phase as much as what I always thought people were supposed to, and so, like, I felt kind of like an outsider when everybody, would be like, "Oh, like, are you just loving it? Like, look at that sweet babe," like, and I'm just like, "Yeah," like, I would just go along with it, like, "Yeah, absolutely," and I was, but, like, it was so much more harder to get through that, and, like, also the pressure of, like, you're the mom, so, like, you should know these things. You should know, like, when your baby needs to eat, when your baby needs more. You should know, like, why your baby's upset, and, like, for me, that threw me for a loop because I never knew. I never knew what she wanted. I never knew if it was more food. I never knew if it was she was constipated, she was gassy. I never knew, and I just had a really hard time with that, and always just kind of feeling like caving in on myself and just keeping that all to myself rather than, like, speaking out and asking people for help. Even though I did have, like, an incredible support system, it wasn't like I really was alone, but I just felt, like, with everything that was going on, I just felt like I was handling all of that on my own because no one really understood it, and I didn't know how to explain it or ask for help.
Well, I think you just explained it really well. I think you explained that perfectly because I like you saying that
Yeah.
like, I'm glad you brought that up because if I'm thinking back on it, I kind of felt exactly the same way. Like when you're being asked, like, "Oh my God, are you so in love? And are you just like soaking up every second?" Like, I'm just trying to soak up every second of sleep. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, I
Like,
don't know
what
what I'm
happened to
doing.
my
I don't
life?
know what he
Yeah.
needs. I don't know if he needs to fart. Like, I just got
Yep.
to a routine of just giving him Mylicon, like,
Yep.
after dinner time so he could just, like, release gas, but, like, I didn't know, like, are you hungry? Do you need to burp? Do you need to
Mhm.
sleep? Do you need a new diaper? Then you've done all those things. You've checked all those things off, and they're still crying, and it's like,
Exactly.
how am I doing so bad at this? Like, how am I
Exactly.
like,
You're like,
how
"I thought I would." I've always wanted to be a mom, and, like, how am I struggling so hard at something that I always wanted to do? Like,
Yeah.
that, like, threw me off, like, so bad because I felt like I should have known all the answers, and I just never did. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
something is wrong with me. I am the worst mother ever."
yeah, well, and the thing is, you like, that's the struggle. It's just like, I remember it's like you feel so bad about yourself, and then you start Googling, like, "How long does this
Oh
phase last?"
gosh.
"Oh, okay, so it'll be good in 2 weeks." "Oh, okay, so after those first 2 weeks, it gets easier, and then this next thing happens, and then, okay, so another month after that before everything's better," and it's like, it's just never ending. You just you just kind of
Yeah, it
survive.
really isn't. Yep. yep, you literally wing it. You wing it through each phase and each situation, and you'd have to do what works for you and your family and your baby, and you literally just can't listen to other people because unless you're, like, trying to take some advice from people because, I mean, just everybody's different, and you just have to come to realize that you're not gonna know it all.
Yep.
No mom
Nope.
does.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for that little session. Let's take a quick break and then let's head into our next segment.
Sounds good.
All right. Welcome back, guys. We took a quick break there for a second and let's pick up the conversation on some common ground. Let's compare and contrast some struggles that, aren't often talked about. First one, breastfeeding struggles. For me, breastfeeding felt like less of a bonding moment and more of like training for a competitive sport. And the ref is a screaming newborn. For me, breastfeeding, he latched right away. It was super quick. It was like surprisingly quick. Like he just knew what to do. And from there on, he just never stopped eating. So how is that for you? Because I know that your second is formula fed. Your first had well, first you tell me, first and second, did you try breastfeeding with both initially?
I did, yeah, so I tried breastfeeding with both. So my first, I she actually latched pretty decent. I remember using some nipple shields for help, and then I remember, like, expressing, from my boob and, like, just giving it to her on, like, a little spoon or, like, a little, like, Q-tip type thing in the hospital, and, so she did actually fairly decent, but I got to a point where, like I said, my I felt like my milk didn't come in soon enough for her, so then I added some formula along with it, and then I just, like I wasn't a fan of the breastfeeding on the boob, so I did a lot of pumping, and that kind of worked for me for, I would say, a couple months. So I did about 2 to 3 months of pumping with my first, and then just fed her in bottles. I also wanted her to be able to drink from bottles just in case I was ever, like, away or, like, my husband watched her or, yeah, I needed a babysitter or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure that she knew what a bottle was and, like, how to drink out of it. Because I've heard horror
Yeah.
stories of people, like, never being able to leave their baby and, having the struggles with the bottle and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I really am gonna need some me time at one point in the
Yeah.
coming days, so, like, I just want to make sure that we can at least do a bottle in that instance. So, that being said, lasted about 2 to 3 months. I hated it. I hated pumping. It was miserable for me. I just felt like I was in constant pain. I always got clogged milk ducts, even though I was, like, following a somewhat regular schedule.
Mhm.
And I'm also a belly sleeper, so I could never sleep because my boobs just
Yeah.
hurt 24/7 and we're constantly full,
Yes.
I felt like, and so that was miserable, and yeah, I really didn't love it, and so that's when I switched our first over to formula, like I said, right about 3 months, I think, and she was on
Mhm.
the Nutramigen, the most expensive hypoallergenic formula because she also had reflux, and so we dealt with that for the first couple months too, trying to figure that out. And also got to the point where I was going to potentially have to cut, like, dairy out of my diet and stuff, and I was just like, "You know what? I don't like this process anyways, and I eat a lot of dairy, so I'm like, we're just gonna switch over to
Mhm.
formula and call it good." At the end of the day, a fed baby is a happy baby, no matter how much they push breastfeeding, like, I get it. I wanted so badly to, like, love it, but I didn't, and so I kind of, like, took some notes on that for my second. I got, like, a portable pump that you put, like, in your bra so I could be more mobile, having a toddler running around at home too, and then a newborn, I wanted to be able to do it, like, hands-free,
Mhm.
and, that was really nice. I feel like that helped the situation a lot, but still and I don't know if I was doing it wrong. I don't know, but I just was always in so much pain, and I again didn't love it, so I lasted for about the same 6 to 8 weeks, 2-ish months or so with, my second. I remember the exact moment I decided that I wanted to stop was so my husband and my oldest daughter and I went down to Ohio for my sister-in-law's wedding. We left our youngest here with my parents to watch her for the weekend just because I'm like, it's, cold and flu season. She's like, I think 5 weeks old or something at the time. And I got mastitis and went to urgent care the morning of her wedding and, like, barely made it in time to, like, walk, and it was just miserable, and yeah, I'm just like, "Yeah, screw this. I'm not doing this. I don't like it. I didn't have a good time with it," and my second had a tongue tie, so she didn't latch great. She did good for what she could do, but I just wasn't fighting that, so we ended up just going right to pumping in bottles like I did with my ended up doing with my first. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, so we about the same timeline, a little bit less time, I think, with my second in regards to length of time breastfeeding, but I struggled and I had a really hard time with accepting that it didn't come naturally to me like I always thought that it should and would. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I said, a fed baby is a happy baby, even if it's formula. Yeah, that was kind
100%.
of my
So,
experience.
real quick, you had mastitis and you walked in a wedding?
Yes.
Oh my god. Did you have, like, a fever? Were you, like, delusional? Like, I feel like, oh my
I,
gosh.
yeah, it was
Like,
miserable.
how did
So,
you do that?
luckily, I think I caught it, like, fairly soon enough where my symptoms weren't terrible. I was just in a ton of pain, and I had a bunch of, like,
Mhm.
redness, and I don't think I ended up having a fever, but I was just, like the fatigue was crazy, and I just,
Mhm.
like, felt just blah. I felt sick. I'm just like, "Yeah, this is not a fun time." So, yeah, I literally, like, that morning, I woke up and like I said, I noticed redness and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh," bring out Google. Google tells me you have mastitis
Ah,
because Google knows everything, right? Which I'm like, "Okay, yeah, like, I've never seen redness before." I felt like a clogged duck and stuff, but I've never seen the redness, and it was like the triangle, like, to look out for. I'm just like, "Crap." So went to urgent care, they gave me some meds, and yeah, it was a whole thing. I was just in a lot of pain and we ended up calling it a somewhat early night, which was fine, but I was popping pain meds,
yeah.
Motrin and Tylenol as much as I could, as well as the antibiotic that they put me on, and so
Did you have
yeah.
some wine at least?
No, I couldn't even drink because
No?
of the meds they put me on. That was the worst part. That was the worst part, I couldn't
Sounds
even drink.
terrible.
So yeah.
See, and I feel like I had just a completely different was in the hospital and I had the baby and they were like, "Are you gonna breastfeed?" I was like, "I guess so."
Sure, let's try it, why
That
not?
is like it was like the
Yep.
last thing on my mind. I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
just
"Sure, I'll do it because it's great for the baby." I didn't know if it was gonna
mhm.
work, but he ended up latching right away, and the same thing, I had pre-ordered the wearable pumps.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lancinol, Discreet Duo. They are not sponsoring the show, but if you'd like to, you are the only reason that I continue to breastfeed because I can't even imagine I would have quit pumping and breastfeeding immediately if I had to be hooked into a
Hooked
wall
to a wall.
for 30 to
That's
40
all I
minutes.
did with my first, yeah, it was horrible.
Mm-mm. I would not have continued, especially, like, with work. I'm so thankful that my workplace was able to accommodate me just letting me pump at my desk because I never, like, took a pump break. I literally would go to the bathroom, put my pumps in, come out looking like Dolly Parton, and then sit back at my desk and just keep working, you know what I mean? I'm answering the
Yeah,
phone, I'm continuing to do what I'm doing, and it was only because of those wearable pumps. I don't know what people did in the olden days
I
before
know.
wearable
Wild,
pumps,
yeah.
like, but the thing
Such a
is, like, if
huge
I
asset.
yeah, and if I wasn't pumping all the time, on a schedule, the same thing. It would just like it would be so painful and like I'd feel so engorged. and the
Mhm.
same thing, I sleep on my stomach, so I'd wake up in the middle of the night like I feel like I'm on a boulder,
Mhm.
and it was a long I can't even tell you how many months I went before I stopped doing the night pump because that was another thing that it was great that I was producing enough milk, even though it kinda felt like a video game, like, better because supply and
Yes.
demand. It's just like I need a okay, if I wake up and I pump at 4 AM, I'm gonna get at least 8 ounces out of that pump. That's gonna be about 2 feedings, so then I can save that for later, and then I'll pump again in the
Mhm.
morning or I'll nurse him in the morning. It's just like my whole
Constant. It's
schedule every
constant.
single day.
Yes.
It was like a full-time job on top of my full-time job. I don't know if I ever asked you, but I went back to work 6 weeks, like, literally 6 weeks after having a baby, and I'm pumping, and I I swear my brain didn't work when I returned
Mm-mm.
to work. I don't
No.
even know, like, anything that happened between November and, like, maybe March of this past year, like, didn't count.
Yeah.
Like, if
No.
I messed
No.
something up, like, not real.
You
I wasn't
can't. Yeah,
even
you
there.
can't take credit for that. Exactly.
No.
Yeah, no, I went back with my first I went back 6 weeks after, and then with my second, I did 8 weeks, but I also worked from home with both girls, so I feel like that was a complete game changer when it came to, like, just everything involved because then I could just pump at my desk. Like, it didn't really which, I mean, obviously, like, you could still do at work, but it
Mhm.
was a much, much easier, I feel like, transition overall because I was working from home, so I had everything just here with me, and I didn't have to necessarily think about all the logistics of all of that and bringing everything with me to work and all of that, so, that's actually, like, one of my biggest concerns about potentially having a 3rd kid or not is now, having this new job and being in the office and what would that look like in regards to like postpartum and pumping and all of that because it's just like a foreign concept to me and I just like wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, you said it completely, like, accurate, like, the logistics of it. It's like
Yeah.
you're traveling to go on,
Yeah.
like, a week-long trip. Like, I have so
I
many
can
things
imagine.
with
Yes.
me.
That's how it
I bring
felt,
s
like, literally just leaving
Yeah.
the house. Like, I can't imagine being gone for a full work day and then also having the kid either, like, being watched, I don't know, by my husband or, like, in a daycare or, like, what that is. Like, that like, mind-blowing to me. I can't even, like, process that right now.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think I mean, you figure out your routine. Like, I feel like I
Yeah.
know my routine. It's like I'm charging
Mhm,
this at
mhm.
night. This is prepped and ready. Like I prep everything the night before just to make my life easier in the mornings, but like
Yes,
still like
for sure.
even the logistics of being at work while pumping. Like the
Yeah.
funniest story I ever like experienced was cuz we do have men. Like, it's a male-dominated
Yeah.
company, but in
Yeah,
office,
for
it's
sure.
mostly females. But it's like the one day that, boss man was like, "I need to talk to you guys." I have, like, 6 minutes left on my pumps, and I just, like, looked down, I looked at my timer, and I was like, "I can't have this conversation with my nipples being stimulated." Like,
No,
I cannot
no.
look you in the eye and take you seriously with, like, "Mm, mm,
I was just
mm."
gonna say that, like,
I can't do it. I
no.
can't do it. So I was like, "We need to postpone until I can remove my
Give
electric
me 10
booms."
minutes, please.
Yes. I just need a minute. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
there's no
uh,
way.
no. Well, what's another thing that, I wanted to discuss was, mom guilt. Like, I know
Mhm,
for me, for mom guilt is very real for me, and I feel like it's still very real for me today because I just constantly feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm not
mhm,
doing the right things or other moms do it better than me. And, like I know I've been working really hard on trying to just focus on being me and being
mhm.
myself and telling myself that everything's okay and not comparing myself to other people, but it's still like a constant thing in my life, and I was just curious if,
Yes.
like, the mom guilt is something that you deal with.
Oh, absolutely. Every single day. Every day, all day, I feel like I constantly have some sort of voice in the back of my mind saying, "You shouldn't have done that," or "Get off your phone." If I'm literally, like, placing a grocery order or something,
Mhm.
it's constant. I feel like you said, like, you're never doing enough, you're never doing it right, and struggling to make decisions that you think will be best for your kids and your family, but also, like, wanting to have a life yourself and, like, still be a person yourself. I feel like I've also really worked very hard on that, I would say within the past, like, 6 months, and one of those things was going back to work, like, in an office. That's something I feel like that I needed for myself and my mental health, even though it's put a huge, like, strain on our family and, like, I mean, everybody's just everywhere all the time, and, like, I do have less time with my girls in the evenings and in the mornings, but I also have an incredible husband who has a flexible work from home job that he can do all the running for me. And then on the flip side of that, I also have incredible flexibility, if I ever needed to leave early or something, like, everybody's great at the office and completely understanding, like, we all have kids and we get it, life happens. So, I think, trying to figure out where that line is, I don't even and I think it will always kinda be blurry, but you just have to take time and give yourself grace and, like, prioritize yourself and your relationships with your friends and your family and your spouses or partners, like, you just have to, and I've tried really hard to focus more on that in the past few months for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like just the whole work flexibility, which is it's really nice because there's so many parents and it's like
Yeah,
everyone's super understanding. But then even just the fact that you're at work and not with your
makes you feel
baby.
guilty. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like
And
I'm
I
here
I I was
because
gonna
we
say, I
need
tell
money.
yeah, exactly, yeah, I tell you all that. I tell, everybody at the office that they're like, "I feel almost guilty for taking this job because it's what I wanted, but I knew that it would take me away a little bit more, not a crazy ton, but a little bit more from my
Mhm.
girls." And, like, it's just every day, like, you just like, I go to work even though I love it, and I'm just, like, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I should be with my kids. Like, why are you here? You should be with your kids." Or you should be at home, prepping for your kids, making meals for your kids or something, or I don't even know. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like, it's so hard because, like you said, I mean, you truly feel like you're never doing enough and you're never doing it right. But, like, what is right and what is wrong? I don't really think
Yeah.
that exists.
Well, and even just, like, taking time for yourself, so it's just like, "Okay, I have to go to work,
Mhm.
I feel like crap because I'm here, because I wanna be with my baby." And when you get home, you look at your phone and you're like, "Oh my gosh, why am I even on my phone? I should be spending time with my baby." But then all of a sudden, it's like, "Wait, I just need a moment to myself." Or if somebody invites you to go somewhere, you're like, "Okay, I wanna go do that, but can I go do that?" And you find yourself
Mhm.
asking your partner questions all the time, like,
Like
"Why am I
permission.
asking Jameson if I can take a shower?" You know, like like, "Hey, if I take a
The
shower now, can
accuracy.
you watch the baby?" You
Yes.
know, like, and then you're in the shower and you're like, "I should be watching him. Why can't I
Yep.
multitask? Why can't I watch
Yep.
him and shower at the same time?" Well, because now he's mobile.
Yes.
Now somebody's gotta
Yes.
watch him. I can't just, like, put him in the bouncer. So it's like, I don't know. It's just such a like, a fine line of trying to do everything yourself and
You
accomplish,
just
like, 100
You can't
things.
do it.
No, no, you
But
can't.
it's, like, so hard to accept that, and it's so hard to, like, do the things for yourself. I don't know, I
Mhm.
think your brain just, like, shifts when you become a mom and or just a parent in general, but, like,
Yeah.
it's crazy what the things that go through your mind and the things that you feel like you can't do anymore, or, like, you have to ask permission to do,
Mhm.
and it's just like, I shouldn't have to ask permission to
Go
use
to
the
the bathroom.
bathroom, to take
Yep.
a poop with a closed door for 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like, you have to
it's just
announce.
crazy to me. Yeah. So, can you watch the kids for, like, not even 5 minutes, please? Like, that's the
Yeah.
extent of it, and, yeah, it still
And the thing
somehow
is,
feels so wrong.
it
No,
doesn't
it
even take
doesn't.
that long. I'm just hiding
No.
in there, really.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't wanna
I'm
come
convinced
out.
that's why
Just,
my
like,
husband takes even longer poops now with kids than he did before. They've, like, doubled, and I'm guarantee it's just because he's hiding. He's hiding from the
yeah,
kids and responsibilities, and I'm just like, "You know what?
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
speaking
approve."
of our our bodies. How do you feel about body image issues? Because for me, like everyone was like, "Oh, you'll bounce back, you'll bounce back." I personally gained 50 pounds during my pregnancy, and I think I'm even yeah, it was 50, and, like, I'm still not I did not bounce
Yeah.
back, and I feel like it's because the whole breastfeeding is like, "Oh, it's supposed to burn calories, and you're supposed to, like, drop weight real quick," and no, it didn't. I was starving constantly, and, I think for me, like, my body image, I'm finally starting to just be comfortable with my body the way it
Mhm.
is, and, like, that last 8 to 10 pounds, I'm not so much as worried about today than I was 6 months ago.
Yep.
It sucked because nothing fit me and I didn't feel
Mhm.
confident, but, like, at this point, for me, I feel like I'll get there when I get there and I'm close enough and, like, my
Yeah.
baby loves me for me, you know,
Yeah.
he loves if mommy comes in with her bald head or if mommy comes
Yeah.
in with her wig, he doesn't care if I'm 500 pounds. He
Exactly.
just loves mom for mom, so, how do you feel about your body image today?
I feel like this is also something that struggled with a lot within the past, 2.5 years since I've had my first, but more so I feel like now after having 2. And, I think that I feel like I've really done a lot of progress on this also in regards to, like, loving this new version of myself and thinking about that too, like, your kids and your babies love you for you, like, they don't care, like, what your weight is, like, they just care that you're there, you're giving them attention, you're loving them, all the things, and, yeah, I I feel like I gained about the same with each one. I wanna say, like, 30 to 35 pounds, and honestly, I feel like I did bounce back fairly easily, as far as, like, losing that weight because I really didn't have to try very hard, and I definitely wasn't, like, dieting because when I was, pumping and breastfeeding, I just ate everything in sight, and I ate, like, through the night, like, whenever I was hungry, I was snacking on something. I felt like a caveman, like, it was just nonstop hunger, like, I never got full, and so I feel, like, very lucky in that aspect where I feel like I really didn't have to try super hard for a lot of that weight to come off, but as far as, like, just the new parts of your body, like, the saggy boobs, the, like, squishy, like, flexible skin, like, on your belly, the stretch marks, like, it's weird. Like, it's weird to get used to, and, like, I literally told my husband this yesterday. We were coming home from our nephew's birthday party, and he's like, "You look really nice today." I'm like, "Thanks." I'm just like, I don't even, like, know what to wear anymore. I don't feel comfortable in anything unless it's, like, an oversized sweatshirt and leggings, just, like, cozy clothes. I just, like, don't even
Mhm.
know, like, I don't know what my style is. I don't know, like, how to put my body in clothes and, like, feel comfortable or confident just because it still feels so, like, foreign and, like, and off to me. Yeah, and I'm even, like, you're right there with me, like, a year postpartum, and it's just, like, it's still a process, like, still trying to figure all that out. I don't know, it's weird and hard to get used to.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, well, I think for right now, why don't we take a quick break and we'll get right back into it in just a second. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right. All right, welcome back. And now we're going to shift things a little bit. So let's go there. Let's talk about stuff that we definitely don't post on Instagram because nobody is posting day 18. Still haven't slept. Boobs are leaking. Eating granola bars in the shower. So, what's the one thing when it came to getting yourself ready postpartum? Even like, what's the difference from them like 6 weeks to 6 months? Because for me, I did not wear makeup at all. I put on my eyebrows and that's it. I can't even just be
Eyebrows.
in the house without yeah, I just like I have alopecia, okay? I don't have eyebrows. But if I
I just think
don't
that's so
like
funny that, like, that's, like, your one thing, like, I will not exist without
yeah,
eyebrows, like, even in my own
no,
home.
I won't. I refuse. I will put my eyebrows on like if there is an apocalypse, I'm putting my eyebrows on. But for me, I was just minimalist brows and sweatpants. What about you?
Yeah, no, I was definitely the same. I've never worn, like, a lot of makeup in general. I mean, my hair was just, half of it fell out, so whatever I had left, like, just probably thrown up, like, on top of my head or, like, in a slick back.
Uh-huh.
No makeup, stained milk all over, probably, like, boobs leaking through my
Mhm.
my pads or whatever that I had on, and yeah, it was just the baggy sweatpants, so I didn't think anybody could see what giant diaper I was wearing to soak up all of the blood cells. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just
Oh, I
like
wear the diaper too.
it was just not cute for, like, the longest time, but I will say now, I feel like I have to wear, like, even more makeup, and that's, like, not because I'm, like, not as closely, like, postpartum. I think it's because, like, I'm struggling with acne now, and, it's so bad, so, like, I'm just wearing more to, like, try to cover that up, if that makes sense. So it's just, like, a totally, like, complete 360 shift, and, like, I just, like it's very weird to try to go through.
Yeah. Well, and there we go again, hormones, because why
Yeah,
why are we having acne as adults?
exactly. Like, I've never had acne this bad, like, not even when I was 12 years old going through puberty, like, and I'm,
Yeah.
well, almost 30, like, what is happening to me right now?
Yeah. Yep. Good old hormones. But well, speaking of hormones, the same with the night sweats. I know we've
Mhm,
discussed this, but I had the worst night sweats. And I remember right after I had the baby, I thought I had a fever. Like,
mhm,
I woke up that morning and just completely soaked. Like, I had
yeah,
to change the bed sheet soaked. Like,
yeah,
I put a towel down at one point because it was so bad. Like, I was completely soaked, and I'd have to wake up
yep,
and, like, take off my shirt and, like, put a different shirt on at night, and I was sleeping under a comforter, under, a blanket on top of the comforter. Like, I it was the most bizarre thing, and I feel like I still sort of have that, not as bad, but I like, even today, I woke up, sweaty. Why am I
yeah,
it is actually
yeah,
decently nice out today for once.
yeah,
So,
right,
how did that go for you? Because I know nobody's posting, "Hey, completely
yeah,
drenched in sweat, super cute this morning" on Instagram.
yeah, yeah, no, I definitely went through the night sweats. I feel like I still have the night sweats too, like, especially, during like your menstrual cycle and all of that kind of stuff too when your hormones are still shifting. But yeah, I remember there was multiple times I woke up in the middle of the night just like absolutely sopping wet, doing the same thing as you, having to change sheets and change like your whole outfit. And then there was times that I like would go to the bathroom because I would be like, did I actually just pee myself or like is this just like sweat? Because that is like how wet like, my pants would get and, like, how wet, like, just everything was, and I'm just like, "This is not right, like, what is happening?"
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I've been there. It sucks. It's not fun.
Yeah,
And nobody tells you about it.
no,
Why are we talking about this? Like, is this
no,
like
there's
early
something
menopause or is
yep,
my hormones
something else
just,
you're just completely, like, unprepared for, you're just like, "Is this normal? I don't know, am I dying? Maybe, like, what's
yeah,
happening?" So,
but it's
yeah, no,
okay.
just
Just
another
change
thing.
your shirt and
Yeah.
carry on.
I also remember being, like, so stinky, like, so smelly, like, during the day, I would, like, profusely sweat also, like, in the first few months. I don't even know, like, for 0 reason at all. Like, I would sweat through my shirts, and, like, the smell would be enough to, like, make me, like, gag because I'm just
I
like,
think it's because
"This has to be hormones," because, like, I don't really like, I sweat, like, if I, like, work out or, I'm hot or something like that, but I've never been, like, a profuse sweater. Um,
Mhm.
and I have gone through, like, 10 different kinds of deodorant to try to find something that'll, like, help stop the sweat and, like, mask the smell, and, like, that was a whole process itself, but, like, I just remember the stink on me. I just, like, felt bad for anybody around me
And
because
you know what? It probably wasn't even that bad. It's probably
I
just
was
like, how
just
your senses, like, are kicked up?
or
It's
heightened
probably
still,
just
yeah.
yeah, that's probably what that was, and you probably weren't stinky, Sydney. I'm sure you were
I
fine.
just stinky Sydney. I just, like, would remember sitting there just, like, smelling myself and just, like, "This is horrible, like, I need to go shower for, like, the 5th time today," or, like, I don't even know what because I just reek so bad, so bad.
I'm trying to think if I ever, like I guess I was stinky. I mean, I was still showering. That was the one thing, like, despite the chaos,
Like, yeah, I
I
still
would
showered too, but,
yeah,
like,
but,
I
like,
just stunk
I
so bad. so bad. And I just like, oh god, it made me so self-conscious about myself. I just like refused to go out in public. Like it was like so bad.
Well, speaking of not going out in public, what about our personal space aside from being stinky? Like my house is in complete chaos and I never do like little Instagram videos or anything because there's constantly just shit everywhere. So,
Mm,
how's your personal space? Because right now I'm looking at my living room and there's like every single spot on the floor is either covered in books or toys or
yep.
something I tripped over or food
Yeah.
or pee.
Crumbs. Yep. Yeah, no, a little
Crumbs,
bit of everything.
puffs, yeah.
Yes. No, I think there are actually currently puffs and yogurt melts spread all over the floor in my living room right now. But yeah, so our house is like I have given up on cleaning. So I don't even like clean regularly. I'm such a dirtball now. I just don't have time. I don't have time to clean.
I get it, I get
And
it.
it's just like there's just shit everywhere all the time. And I just have gotten used to the chaos and the clutter, which is really hard for me because I do not like clutter. So like I at least try to get stuff put away. But as far as like the cleaning, it's just no, I don't have
Non-existent,
time.
yeah,
I don't. So there's
I'm the same
probably
way.
like this much dust on like every piece of furniture that I own. Yeah. Especially if you come over like during the day when my kids are like up and like actively playing. It genuinely looks like a hurricane went through my
Yeah,
house, my living room, like every single room, and I just, like, sit there and I just, like, look at it all. I don't even try to pick
yeah.
it up until, like, they're sleeping or napping or something because there's just no point.
So is at the end of the day and it's just the most, laziest clean job because, as soon as
Yes.
they wake up, it's just gonna be complete chaos again, so I totally
Yep,
get it.
yep,
All right. Well, let's not leave everyone in the trenches without a flashlight. How do we survive those hardest days? Postpartum isn't just about healing physically, it's about surviving this total mental, emotional, hormonal storm, which is why it's so important to talk about what actually helped us get through it. And I know for me, I'm personally still struggling with anxiety, which is, I guess, wrapped into intrusive thoughts, racing thoughts, worrying about the baby's safety, or checking if he's breathing every night, which I don't do
yeah,
as much of, but I feel like I did that quite a lot. And I feel like postpartum anxiety is more common than postpartum depression. But, you kind of internalize it because again, you don't want to seem like you're a bad mom or you're doing
yeah,
something wrong or something's wrong with you. I don't know if you want to discuss if you've struggled with any of that because I know for me personally, intrusive thoughts, I did not want to leave the house
yeah,
for months. I did not wanna leave the house. I did not wanna put the baby in the car. I did not wanna drive with the baby anywhere. I did not want him around too many people. Every day I had to in the middle of the night when I nursed him and he'd wake up, I'd have to walk past I'm staring at them right now, walk past my stairs, and I'm like, "If I take one wrong step and trip,
mhm,
we'll just tumble down the stairs." You know what I mean? Just, the weirdest things, or when I would be driving whether it was a lot of times by myself, but even if there's somebody else in the car, it's the things that would go through my head is I was so aware of my surroundings that
yeah,
it'd be like, if that car were to
yep,
just turn into me, we'd all of us would be gone.
yes,
What if my tire popped and then,
yep.
I drove us off
You
the
just
road?
roll, yeah.
Just yeah, just
Yeah, it's
stuff like
nuns, it's
that, and it
crazy.
was
It's just like, why am I thinking
yeah,
like this? Like, what is the point of where are these thoughts even coming from? But yeah, no, I
yeah, yeah.
definitely struggled and still struggle with those kinds of thoughts. Mine wasn't as much of like leaving the house and the aspect. I don't really know why, but like it's now I think they're worse than they were in the beginning. And now it's like, what if they go to daycare and I like get hit in a car or something and I die on my way home from work or just stuff like that. Like it always kind of revolves around my kids and what would happen or like what if something happens to them over at daycare. I don't know. It's just like it's a different phase. I feel like at every stage that they're in. I just like the thoughts just kind of like shift with the stages, you know what, and things that you worry about. But also, like, yeah, I think that my hormones are going crazier now and than they were, like, in the very beginning, and so I think that's why I'm having more of those thoughts now. I don't really know why or what the reasoning is,
Mhm.
but yeah, so it's definitely, like it's been like this. It's been, different shifts, like, sometimes I'll have more than others, and you can just tell that it's in relation to mood changes and hormonal changes and stuff like that, but yeah, still over a year postpartum now, and it's still happening. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't maybe they don't end, just becoming a mom, and maybe that's just kind of how your brain starts to work, which
I
is
hope not.
terrifying
I
to think
know.
about
No,
because I
I
don't
think
wanna
the
think like
same
that.
thing too. I feel like the same thing. All right, well, I need to run to, I don't know, somewhere, Sam's Club.
Yeah.
And, like, what happens if I die on this trip, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Jameson's not ready to be a single dad.
Well, it's just
Like,
but also at the same time, why is that thought crossing your mind? Like, why are you thinking that way?
I think we're, like,
We don't
just trying
know,
to be over-prepared.
probably.
I think that's I don't
Just
know. I don't
overanalyzing
know, like,
everything.
I feel like there's so much going on in our brains, yet so little is being processed, I feel like. Like,
Yeah. That's so accurate.
I
Yes.
feel slower as, like, just, like, I don't feel as witty, I don't feel
I
as, like,
feel slower
quick.
and, like, stupider, like, when it comes to, like,
Yeah,
work and, like, that kind of, like, thinking and processing.
yeah.
So
Like,
because,
and
like, everything that's on my
it's
mind is just,
hard.
like, related to kids and,
Yes,
like, what
yes.
their needs are.
And it's like I'm trying to be, like, kinder to myself when it comes to that aspect where it's like, I don't know, just like the same thing with work. It's just like I normally would not struggle with something like
Mhm,
something so simple, but then like I'll I can't even explain it. Like I'll overanalyze things. I'm such a perfectionist, but I've just gotten
mhm.
to the point where it's like I don't even care. I showed up today, so
I
this is
am
what you
here
get.
in
You know
my
what I mean?
seat on time, maybe. I'm here, that's all that matters. Like, don't ask me questions. Where's my
Yeah.
coffee? That's it. What is it time to go home?
Yes, we've
Do
made
you have any
it through the
snacks?
day. What was the other? Did you ever get postpartum rage? Because I feel like this is something that is happening to me. Like, I think it's like a weird shift that's happening with my
Yeah.
hormones. And I feel like this is happening to me now more so than it ever did. I probably feel like I felt a little bit of it in the beginning, but like I get to the point where it's like the fifth or sixth time he's waking up in the middle of the night and I would just sit in my bed and I'll just slam my hands down on the bed like, "Come on, we're doing this again." Like, and it'll
Mhm.
just be like this quick switch in my head that I'm just and then, you snap out of it and you go
Yeah.
comfort and everything, but like it's bizarre to me how quickly um I just get so angry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely experienced that too, like, my fuse is overall shorter, I think. I think it's just, loss of sleep, loss of patience with
Yeah.
all of that. But yeah, no, I find myself getting frustrated at times that I'm just like, why am I frustrated right now? There is no reason to be frustrated. Like,
Mm-mm.
it just doesn't even make any sense, and you have to, like, almost, like, mentally, like, switch that switch back. Like, "No, no, like, what's going on? Like, hormones, turn off, please,
Yeah.
and just move on." But it's just yeah, it just kinda comes out of nowhere, and like you said, it just, like, is a switch that turns on and just kinda takes over, but then you just, like, quickly snap out of it, but it's just wild. It's so hard to, like, understand where it's coming from and why it's happening and, like, how to,
Right.
like, deal with it. It's just like, what's going on?
It's like a battle with, like, your rational brain versus, like, your
Mhm.
reptilian brain
Yeah.
because you're in such a you're in
Yes.
such a, like, survival mode. I mean, even last night, like, Maddox took his first steps yesterday, so, like,
Oh
amazing.
my gosh.
But his sleeping so it's like, that milestone was coming,
Yeah.
so he just, like, wasn't sleeping, and he did not wanna go down last night, and after, like, the 3rd time putting him down, he was still crying, and I just, like, walked over to the couch in the fetal position, and I put my head in a
Yep.
pillow, and I just, like, laid there, like, with my hand over my ears, and then Jameson just, like, walked over to me and just, like, put his hand on me. He's like, "He's gonna go to sleep. just give him
Yeah.
5 more minutes." And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know he's gonna go to sleep, but it's just like, I just need, like I don't wanna see
You need
anything, I
like
don't
a
wanna hear
punching
anything, I
bag.
just wanna sit
You
and
need
yeah, I just
they
want
should hand you that should be part of
I
like
don't even
your going home gift from the hospital. It's just like a punching bag that you can hang up in your house somewhere and that you can
yeah.
just use, when those moments come across and you're just like, I just am so pissed off right now. I just need to punch something. So here
Like,
you go.
yeah.
Here's your punching bag.
I don't even think I was, like, even, like, pissed at that moment. I think I was just like, "I've given up." Like, I was just like,
Yeah.
"I've done everything I can do here. I just need a sensory overload because 'cause you're so overstimulated." Like, I've
Hmm.
been just so overstimulated this week, like, I'm just running on fumes and anxiety, I feel like, and again, no reason, no
Hmm.
reason, and the dumbest things anger me, just like
Yeah.
the dog peed on the
Yeah.
carpet because she's old and senile and
Yeah.
she's peeing and I was so mad, but, like, what can I like, why?
Yes.
Why am I so mad
Right.
at this point? Like, it just doesn't make sense, but, yeah, I guess it's just crazy, but you overcome it, and I feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're getting there, and I feel like advocating for your own mental health is really important, but also, like, just doing your own research because some of us just don't want to actually do the therapy route or have tried the therapy route or have tried to reach out for help, like saying like, "Hey, something's wrong." And like the fact I think that we can identify that there's something wrong is like a big
Hmm.
first step in trying to like heal
Absolutely.
through it. Um but I know, like, I feel like we need to normalize crying because it's just gonna happen, and it's great, to have somebody that you can lean on. Like, I feel so thankful that I have a partner that I can lean on, like, and get that type of support that I need. Like, Jameson just the baby just woke up, so he just, like, came and picked him up so we can finish our conversation, which is, like, super nice that we can actually even, like, have time for this conversation or,
Right.
you know, and so
Yeah.
it's almost
It's all
kinda
about
like
that
a little
support.
yeah, it's almost like a
Yes.
little therapy session right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and you have to lean on that's some advice that I would give is to lean on your village even when it's hard to ask for that help. Do it because I promise, like, you won't regret it. You won't
Yeah,
regret it, and you need to lean on those other people who are, A, either going through it or just B, like, are offering their help to get you through it day by day, like, it's necessary, so
yeah, yeah, and not being afraid to ask for help, um, and if someone brushes you off, ask again louder,
mhm,
and,
and
take
louder,
the
and
time you
louder,
need
and
and
louder.
louder. Yes, it's,
It
just
takes you multiple
advocate.
times. Yep.
Yeah, just keep advocating for yourself, and I feel like if I had any advice that I would give and I hate people I rather just have real conversations. I do not like unsolicited advice from people.
Mhm.
I like to just share
Yeah.
experiences rather than have some person tell me about how, like, you know, "I don't understand why you feel this way because my friend doesn't feel this way
Mhm.
or my cousin or my sister," or whatever it is. It's like, well, everybody's experience is so completely different, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but,
No. But yeah, share the
I
experiences, that's huge.
yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway that I would just say my advice is don't feel like you need to be alone in it. Just reach out and talk to a friend or talk to anybody. There's like so many resources out there and just take the time that you need before you go back to work. That is one thing. Take the extra weeks or days, whatever you
Mhm.
need. Just take that time. If that's like your situation. If you're,
Absolutely.
you know, like a full-time mom and juggling being a full-time employee and all that. So that would be my biggest takeaway or tip advice is it gets easier, but just take your time and advocate for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. Also, don't get so stuck on, trying to create a schedule. Schedules are overrated. That's just something that I also struggled with that once I lost that, like, control, it was much better for me moving forward. But yeah, it's okay to cry even if it's over nothing or it's over everything. Just
Yeah.
cry. It's okay.
Yeah.
Cry it out.
It feels better.
Buy
It
some
feels
good
so good to
Kleenex.
cry.
It does.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanna add? on this topic?
I don't think so. It's just it's a topic that a lot of people don't really get the support that they need and the chance to talk about, whether it's, you know, having somebody to talk about it with or having the courage to talk about it in the first place. But
Mhm.
just know that you're not actually going crazy. It's temporary crazy.
Yeah.
It's your hormones and it'll get better. But yes, find the support and don't be afraid to speak up for yourself and for the help that you do need. You can't do this alone. It really takes a village to raise.
It really does. I understand that now much more than I heard it before,
Mhm.
but it really does. And a lot of it in your village, I think like the most important part of that village is the support you get just
Mhm.
like for yourself rather
Yes,
than for, how you're raising your baby. It's more of just like mom needs the support too. All right,
absolutely.
Sydney. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being real and honest. I think a lot of the moms listening will feel a little less alone after this, that we were able to kind of relate our experiences together and what real postpartum is like, even a year out. So, our main takeaway is that you're not broken, you're just in the postpartum trenches, and it does get lighter. At the end of the day, we might not have showed our babies screaming on Instagram. We're surviving on cold coffee, we're barely sleeping, but hey, we're mostly doing it right. So, again, thanks so much, Sydney, and thank you so much for
Thank you.
listening. You can follow us on Spotify. We are on Instagram at Mostly Accurate Podcast. YouTube is at Mostly Accurate Podcast. I'm working on getting a Patreon started. So that's a fun little new thing that we're doing. Yeah, anything that you guys had to comment on, any takeaways that you enjoyed, anything new that you would like to hear from upcoming shows, please let me know. Drop a follow, a like, anything in the comments you want to add. And I love you guys so much. And thanks for listening. Okay, love you. Bye. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The facts are fuzzy. Our stories and opinions are just that, stories and opinions, not meant to be taken as professional advice.